Good morning guys, and welcome back to another ride. Today I'm out on the Sherman, and I don't have a lot of time, but I thought, you know, it's such a beautiful day that I bring you guys along for a ride on the Sherman. I'm going to be heading down the canal. I'm going to do a 30-mile ride, round trip, out. Going to go to a big old common. I think you've seen it in some previous videos, and then back home, because I've got another a place that I need to be at. But out on the Sherman, just having a ride, just having a talk about just a few things that I've heard and seen and whatever. And I just want to give you guys some feedback, just some thoughts about the Master and also this EX20S as well. Just some thoughts. You know, I haven't seen the thing in real life, but just want to give you guys some thoughts on it. But yeah, let's get going. You know, when the grass is nice and soft and you can't see if there's any holes, and you don't have the suspension wheel here, but you think you do have, it sort of bounces out of control. You need to be awake. It is 7 o'clock in the morning. It's a really beautiful day here in the UK, and can't lie in bed, have to get out, get some fresh air. And there's so many little bugs, and I forgot my glasses, so not ideal. But yeah, as you can see, I don't know if you've spotted the difference in my riding gear. Please comment below, and I'll let you know later in the video what the difference is. There's 2 bits that is different to the gear that I usually ride with. So drop some comments below. See if you can spot the difference. But yeah, so just want to give you guys some feedback on again, you know, as you probably know now, you know, I like doing a lot of research before I buy anything or make a decision on getting anything, and see if it's good or bad, or try and test ride it, or anything in that line. But I had a look at this Master, a little bit more detailed, and I must say, you know, it's for me getting to a wheel that it almost feels like the suspension is the suspension mechanism is better than the S22. Now, again, you know, I've spent a very short time on the S22 at the Fully Charged show, and I only managed to have a look at the Master. You know, pumped it a bit, you know, looked around it, moved it about a bit, but I got a good idea of how the two work, or how they're put together. For that fact, I haven't ridden them extensively. I would love to, because I think comparing those two would be a good thing. So the more I watch videos about, you know, teardowns and close-ups and so forth between like the S22 and the Master, it sort of looks like the Master's suspension is a little bit more, what do you say, free-flowing, so smoother. On the S22, where that rubber or hard rubber or Teflon or whatever they used on the sliders that runs within the battery channels, that moves up and down. There's one on the top and one on the bottom on each side, so it's 4 corners that runs into these channels within the batteries. Now, again, as I said in my previous video, you know, if you keep those stuff clean and you keep them it's probably going to be like a dry grease or something like that keeps friction at the bay, and you get a smooth ride. So again, it's easy to maintain. if you know what you're doing and you're keen for that. Where the Master looks like it's the sliding mechanism in the middle just looks like a better design from what I can see. So I haven't ridden it, so just take that with a pinch of salt. You know, I'm not. For me, just mechanically, it looks like a better setup. Woo! Compared to the S22, where the S22, if dirt builds up there, it's going to become quite sticky. It's natural, you know. It's like where the Master, the system works well. It looks much smoother. If I compare the S22's seat at the back, or what they call the little area at the back where you can sit on, it looks like it's not long enough. So you have to move quite far forward to actually have a comfortable seating riding position. Again, you know, I haven't really tried these things. I'm just looking. I'm just seeing, you know, from the wheels I've ridden, and when you sit down, how it would feel. Where the Master is much longer. Now listen, I'm not pro Master now from the S22. I'm just highlighting these things, observations really, that I would really like to investigate more. You know, I'm a 5'11" rider, so I'm not overly tall, and I'm also not a very heavy rider. You know, I'm 75 kilos with all my kit on. So it's going to vary from person to person. But yeah, just things to take into consideration when you look at these wheels. It looks like also, just to cover both tires, a lot of people have been saying that the S22 and the Master's tires are not the best. They're great for off-road, but they're not so great for like city riding and carving and so forth. Again, for me, the Sherman's tire is just like a spot-on tire compared to any of the other tires that I've used. I need a knobby tire. I like the noise of it makes, so people can hear me. I also like, because I ride most of the time on gravel, I need to have more grip. When a tire is too round, like the S18 stock tire, it works, but the knobby tire works better for my conditions. And we're going to actually get a bit of Insta360 out, get a little bit of a different view so you guys can see around, not just my face. I'm just gonna quickly stop here because I think I'm close to the halfway mark. Give you guys some feedback. There we go. There's a nice bench. Sit and have a quick break. Half an hour stop, or halfway stop at least. Quick stats update. Love a bit of range testing always, or riding feedback. So I've done 16.65 miles this morning so far. The temperature on the wheel is sitting at 36, so it's nice and cool. Top speed 31 miles per hour, journey 1 hour and 3 minutes, and average speed of 15.7 miles per hour, and average riding 17.3 miles. I didn't start with a full battery, so that's not going to really do anything. But yeah, I'm sitting at 44% battery left, and I'm using EUC World. Really enjoying this. Again, I forgot to press the record button. But guys, just sort of to come back to a few of the points, and you've probably recognized now what the differences are. There's one difference in my riding gear that you can see now, and that's my jeans compared to, I usually ride with motorcycle trousers with built-in knee and hip protection, and it really works quite well. But this morning it's nice and warm, so I thought to myself, let's trim down. There's one more bit of kit that I wonder if you can spot, so drop some comments below. But yeah, let's carry on with, so I want to cover the suspension again for the Master and the S22. So what I've seen as well with the S22, the suspension might not be as smooth as the Master, but the suspension on the S22 can handle more. Quite interesting. Where from what I've seen and heard is the Master suspension is very soft, even if you inflate it close to the maximum. Now a lot of guys are saying that they're riding it around 280 psi. You can probably go more, but I don't know what the limitations of that shock. It looks like, well, it is branded as a Bugatti shock. It also doesn't look like the shock has got any lockout. What the guys are saying is that the S22 can really handle big hits, where the Master cannot, and it actually bottoms out. But then on that side, it looks like the Master is fairly easy to remove the shock and fit something else. But those are the two things that feels to me like it's going to be a deciding factor. So when you come to decide which one you want, do you want the one that can take bigger hits and just a chunkier shock, the S22, or do you want to go for the Master that has got a lighter shock? It looks like it's a more free running suspension system. It's got less resistance, but it can also bottom out. So big hits and trail riding and off-road rides, it can be a pain because it doesn't look like you can fill it up enough. So it has got enough to not bottom out. You don't want to bottom out the shock, and especially for heavier riders. So it's going to be interesting to see who goes for what and what they like in the end of the day, because again, we haven't seen these things out. It doesn't look like we've seen a lot of test wheels and a lot of feedback on all these things, but the bulk of the people that's pre-ordered and ordered them hasn't received them yet, and we haven't had really a lot of feedback from normal riders. Is this going to be really a problem, or is it only for the guys that do extreme riding that it becomes an issue? I had to move on from there. This is getting really hot. I don't have enough space in my bag for my jacket. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see which of the fields are going to go. Is a lot of guys going to the S22, or a lot of guys going to the Master. The EX20S is for me another wheel that is in a what it looks to me like it's in a different league. It's big. The seat is even, or the whole top bit is about 10 or 13 centimeters longer than the Masters one. So it's going to be a big cruising wheel with suspension. How cool is that? You know, we've got such a massive option at the moment, or when they become available, that you can basically choose whatever you feel like, man. You know, I need a big, massive wheel for long range riding. Boom. Look at the Monster Pro, but the Monster Pro doesn't have suspension. So I'll look at the Bugatti EX20S. But you know, if you want long range wheel, big wheel, suspension, comfort, go for that thing. Seated riding, boom, sorted. And then high-end suspension wheels, it's the S22 or the Master. You know, the V11 is still an awesome wheel, but you know, the suspension systems on the other wheels is now moved along. You know, it's that extra development and extra time and effort that the guys put into it. So it's now even better. Woo! Hey, little jump. So our options become so great that we can really pick and choose. I just hope we riders get the opportunity to actually get these wheels before summer is actually finished here in Europe, well, UK and Europe, so that we can ride these things, man. It's just super exciting times, man. Well, maybe it's just me that gets like super excited about these things, but yeah. So I would just love to ride these wheels and, you know, just share the knowledge about these things, so more people can ride it, tell people about it, how it works. You know, I was speaking to a lady this morning, and she was saying like, oh, that looks so dangerous. I said to her, you know, this is like as dangerous as using my mountain bike next to the canal. I'm just fairly proficient riding a mountain bike compared to riding a unicycle. So the more you ride one or the other, the more easy it's going to be. There's nothing dangerous about it. If you ride at the speed that I'm riding, you know, it's like, you know, if you trip or whatever, you just walk off. It's only when you go at high speeds, and that is exactly the same with mountain bike. You know, if you go through a trail and whatever, and you go and fall off, you're gonna hurt yourself. It's exactly the same with this. If you ride in your limitations, you'll be fine. So guys, what did you think was the last bit of gear that I've got on? It's a little bit hidden, but you can probably have seen it through my torn jeans. Got a hole in the one side of the jeans leg. Yeah, it's my Leot knee pads. They fit underneath my jeans without any problems. There's even more space. So and they're super comfortable. You know, I've been on for now an hour. Absolutely great. That was just a bit of news and waffle on the ride. I am pretty much, well, I'm about just over 12 miles away from home, and I'm just going to be smashing it out further. That fly went down. Oh man. Oh no. So I'm going to be smashing it down the trail to get back home, and then I'll go and join my daughter, and also my wife is now keen to start learning to ride the EUC. So that's also the reason why I wanted to get a V8F or a 16S or a 14D. Just a nice easy wheel. Get them on it. It's a little bit higher than the M10 III, so it's not as jittery. Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed this little ride video, and I hope you have a great time riding your wheels. If it's the S18 all the way down to the M10 III, whatever you ride, just get out, enjoy it. The more you ride, the better you're gonna get. And the better you get, the more you're gonna enjoy it. And I explored some new areas this morning. It's absolutely brilliant. And don't worry about going too fast in the beginning. Just get out. Slow maneuverability really teaches you to get to know how the wheel feels. Yeah, enough of the waffle. Hope you've got a lovely time. Get out, ride the thing, and I hope we get all the cool wheels soon and you guys can get your pre-orders. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one. Cheers, guys. Boom.